I used to believe that my family was strong. I never even considered cheating on my wife, as I cherished and valued her deeply. Verica, my wife, was not only thrifty but also an amazing cook. After a couple of years following the birth of our child, she decided to go back to work. It was her own choice, and I supported her fully. Our daughter, Olga, was a shining star. She never caused any trouble and consistently excelled in school. Life seemed wonderful, but as they say, it's not always easy. Towards the end of Olga's 5th grade year, her history teacher, Oleg Dmitrievich, reached out to the parents for some assistance. There were painting, wallpapering, and minor repairs that needed to be done right at the beginning of the vacation. Unfortunately, my wife's vacation started 10 days later, and we had plans to go on a family seaside vacation together. Nonetheless, Verica willingly volunteered to help, and a few other parents joined in too. There will be 7 of us, and once the renovations are finished, the other parents will come to do a general cleaning of the classroom. My wife shared with excitement in her voice. "That's great. I'll do my best to help out too," I replied, even though I knew I would be working during that time. Instead, I decided to contribute by providing the materials since I work at a TV ET warehouse. Not only could I get them at a lower price, but there was also a wider selection available. We managed to purchase everything needed, except for the paint. I advised my wife to wait a little longer, as we were expecting a good quality paint to arrive soon, at a lower price compared to other similar options. With great enthusiasm, my wife went to lend her assistance, and every evening she would share all the details with me. "Darling, the classroom is transforming right before my eyes. Alechka will be amazed when she sees it in September," Verica exclaimed with joy. I shared her joyful anticipation when the long-awaited paint arrived at the warehouse. Wanting to surprise her, I decided to bring it to her school during lunchtime. I loaded the paint into the car and promptly drove to the school. Fortunately, the security guard recognized me and allowed me to pass through. Little did I know that my arrival would lead to a completely unexpected surprise. As I approached the closed classroom door, I heard distinct sounds mingled with moans, leaving me in shock. Peering through a small gap, I witnessed my wife in the arms of her class teacher. There was no need for further explanation. Initially, I was overcome with anger, tempted to burst into the room and confront them. However, I managed to gather my senses and, instead, left the paint at the door before leaving. When I finally arrived home that evening, Varia disgusted me. With our child already asleep, we retreated to the kitchen. As we closed the door behind us, Varia turned to me and grimly stated, "And I take it you know everything." I replied, "Yes, I witnessed everything." I chose not to create a scene, so I left the paint and departed. "Honey, believe me, it all happened unexpectedly. They finished early, and the other parents had already left for lunch. My wife ended up alone with the teacher, and here's the most surprising part. They were former classmates, something I had no clue about, and I don't understand why Varia kept it from me. They decided to have tea and reminisce about their school years. He admitted to having feelings for her, but then things took a different turn. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I don't know what got into me." My wife burst into tears. You can imagine how shocked and conflicted I felt. I couldn't find it in me to forgive such an act. She packed her things and went to her mother's with our child a few days later. Of course, we didn't tell Ola anything. I didn't feel the need to pursue the details of their relationship or create a scene with the teacher. I know that Varia and him attempted to build a connection, but it never worked out. As you can see, change can occur anywhere, even at school during classroom renovations. That's why there's a wise proverb, trust but verify. Scandal isn't always the appropriate response, especially when fueled by anger. You can create a mess that's difficult to clean up. Whether to forgive infidelity or not is a personal decision. In my case, I couldn't.